I'm not a Dak guy. I'll start with that. I Everyone wants to tell me he's top 10. I've always argued he's closer to 15 than he is 10. Um, I just don't. There's no special to Dak except for him at the podium. He's a good leader, which, hey, I'm not saying that that's not valuable. I'd pay Dak to be my franchise quarterback. It just depends on what I'm paying him. They pay him too much. There's too many expectations. That's not where he's meant to thrive. You put Dak in Jacksonville making $35 million, sure. I'm not saying I would take him over Trevor Lawrence, but you get my point. A smaller market. I mean, Dak gets more publicity than he actually has success. We do understand that, right? I mean, he's what, two playoff wins, like 2-4 in the playoffs. I mean, just look at playoff teams, excluding the actual playoffs themselves. Let's go look at regular season games since he's had Mike McCarthy. So let's go since 2021. Let's not even count the COVID year. That was wild. Let's go 2021, 2022, and then so far this year, he's played in 13 games against playoff teams. He's 4-9. He's 4-9. I mean, he completes a little bit over 60%, like 63% of his throws. I mean, 93 pass rating, 25 touchdowns, 16 picks. Super average. He's Kirk Cousins. He's Matt Jones, Matt Ryan. He's Derek Carr. But people want to tell me he's top 10. If you want to see what a top 10 quarterback looks like, you want to see what somebody does in a big game against a big playoff team, in a rivalry standalone game at home, look at Brock Purdy. Look at Brock. Completes 71% of his throws. 4 touchdowns, no picks. 144 QBR. 144. It's not all about Dak, though. It's just that's a microcosm of what the Cowboys are. And let's be fair, he had a severe coaching disadvantage. Do you know who led the 49ers in rushing on Sunday night? Somebody by the name of, yes, I had to look him up, Jordan Mason. I have no idea who that is. I have no idea who Jordan Mason even is. Somebody named, let's see, let's get this right. Tyrion Davis Price had 6 carries. That's a coaching disadvantage. That's how you know that Shanahan is significantly better than Mike McCarthy. It's not even close. It's really not even close. You have Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and Jordan Mason led them in rushing. And Brock Purdy, the last guy picked. 4 touchdowns, no picks. That's coaching. You want to see coaching? That's it right there. So it's not all on Dak. But we consider him point blame, but it's what do you do, right? Like we consider and what's the problem? He's the problem. No, he's the problem. What's the solution, right? What's the solution to the problem? How do the Cowboys move forward? Because they're not the best team in their own division. The Eagles are significantly better. The Eagles haven't even played their best game yet. They're 5-0. They haven't even played an A game. Their best game's been a B+ game. They're 5-0. So they're not even close to being the best team in their own division. I mean, they're certainly not the Niners. We saw that. Are they even the Lions right now in the NFC? Are they the Saints? I'm not. I think the Saints, they're iffy. But I saw them wax, New England. And I know that the Cowboys also waxed. Like, are they even a top 3 team in the NFC? Personally, I don't think so. I would take the Niners. I would take Philly. And I would probably take Detroit. I would take them over New Orleans. But they're closer to New Orleans than they are to San Francisco. Just let that sink. New Orleans here. San Francisco here. Dallas is closer to New Orleans than they are San Francisco. It's not that much of an argument. So now what's the solution? The solution is not to fire Mike McCarthy mid-season. I'm not saying that's the solution. You're not going to go get a new OC. You're not trading Dak mid-season. So there's probably not a good solution this season. They're going to make the playoffs. So let's not overreact. They're going to make the playoffs. They're not going to host a game. They'll probably go on the road and I don't know, they'll be like the 4 seed. They'll go wax the 5. I don't know who's going to get in as the 5. Atlanta, Seattle. They'll probably beat those teams. So they'll probably get in. They'll probably win a playoff game on the road, just like they did with the 8 and 9 Bucks last year. They barely got in. They beat the 8 and 9 Bucks because they'll be the 5. They'll go beat the worst. They'll beat the 4 seed. The worst division winner. So maybe the Saints. And then then they'll go on the road against a real team, and they'll get boat raced, and we'll be like, it'll be in the same spot that they have been for the last 3 or 4 years. So the solution this year, I don't know. I don't have it. I don't have a solution this year. Solution long term, draft a quarterback. I'm sorry, you got to draft a quarterback. Where are you getting the money? Tony Pollard's going to need paid, and maybe you don't pay him. He's a running back. That's fine. CeeDee Lamb's going to need paid. You have to pay him. Micah Parsons is going to need paid. Trayvon Diggs got his deal, but doesn't even kick in until like next year. Right? So he's going to start getting paid. Where are you getting the money if Dak's making $50 million? You're not getting it anywhere. And if he's not the solution, then he's part of the problem. And so what you do, you're a huge brand. You can go get anybody. Go draft a quarterback first round, right? If you lose in the second round, you're going to be drafting somewhere, mid-20s. Okay? All right, you got plenty of D linemen. Package a D lineman in 2 firsts, move up to 11, and go take, I don't know, Drake May, or wait till J.J. McCarthy or Sam Hartman or somebody falls to you. Okay? Restart. Now you have a ton of cap space. Get rid of McCarthy. You're telling me Lincoln Riley wouldn't pick up the phone? You tell me he wouldn't pick up the phone? I'm not saying he takes it. He's not picking up the phone? Oh, he's going to pick up the phone. Kalen DeBoer in Washington's not picking up the phone? There are plenty of young coordinators, young head coaches in college football that you can make a call to and say, hey, we have a young quarterback. We have a dynamic core. What can you do? And I'm telling you, it's a better solution than Dak and Mike McCarthy. I've seen it. It's not going to work. To me, they feel exactly like the Vikings for the last, 4 years of Kirk Cousins. They're good. You can get in the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game if everything goes right. That's about it. So the solution this year, I don't know. Cross your fingers. Hope you make it as the 5. Go beat the doors off New Orleans and then lose to some real team. And then from there, I don't know. There's an argument that the best solution this year is to absolutely nosedive. So then Jerry Jones can be like, oh, this is really not going to work. Because there's a chance that they just keep winning and Jerry Jones just says, you know what, we're good with this. No, you're not. You're not good with this. You're not good with this at all. After this year, don't do it midseason. After this year, I think it's time to clean house. I think you get rid of Dak. You could get something for Dak. You could get a third, maybe even a second for Dak. 100%. You could probably get 2 seconds for Dak. Go get 2 seconds. Go get a new coach. Go get a young quarterback. Spend a bunch of money because you're going to have a bunch of cap space. Go sign CeeDee Lamb. Re-sign Tony Pollard. Get some offensive linemen. That's what you got to do because this clearly is not working. You're light years behind the best team in your conference. Not even in the league, in your conference. So,
a couple things came to mind. One, the conversation that we had last week, I think, about the Dolphins. Dallas is in this spot right now where they're not exactly bad enough to, warrant a total change in, start of... Now, I think they need it, but, they're good enough where the owner and the fan base, they can all look at it
and be like, this isn't a rebuild.
It's good enough. It's okay. And the glaring issues don't exactly always shine through like they did this week. I mean, come on. Big game. Sunday Night Football. You're going to throw 3 interceptions. That's what you're going to do. So that didn't look great. Another thing, you were talking about getting a new offensive coordinator. You know who would probably be great? Or not, maybe a new OC, but even a head coach transformed from an offensive coordinator? Brian Daboll. Right?
Yeah, I mean...
He would have pieces in Dallas.
It's interesting. The problem is you would have to trade the Giants a first-round pick to get him because he's under contract. So even if he resigns, you could hope he gets fired. But if the Giants fire him, they're the dumbest organization ever.
Well, you could go full Colin Cowherd on him. Just Brian Daboll resign, step away, go move down to Dallas.
You'd have to give the Giants a first-round pick, and they're not going to do it.
No. It'd be interesting, though.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Would it not?
Yeah.
I mean, they need to do something, and they need to make a splash somehow, because McCarthy's obviously not the guy.
I think Daboll would do it, but I think Daboll... If I was Brian Daboll, I wouldn't do it personally.
You wouldn't go...
Absolutely not.
The biggest brand in football, you get a chance to head coach?
Nope. The most dysfunctional brand in football?
As of late, yeah.
The most overhyped, useless brand in football?
Yeah, but you can account that to Dak and McCarthy.
No, you can count that to Jerry Jones 100%. Jason Garrett was a head coach. Tony Romo will get Hall of Fame votes, and they were still the same old team they've always been. It's the same team they've been. Kellen Moore calling the plays, same team. Mike McCarthy calling the plays, same team. Tony Romo, quarterback, same team. Doesn't matter. It's been the same team for the last 25 years. Yeah, been the same disappointing team for the last 3 decades almost.
Yeah, they haven't been able to hit on anything.
If I'm Daboll, I'm looking at the Chargers job, and that's it.
Ooh.
Period. End of story.
Now that's interesting. All right, guys. Hits and misses time.